America's pastime is taking another blow, and it's not steroids this time, but a cheating scandal of another sort that is rocking Major League Baseball. The latest casualty, new Mets manager Carlos Beltran. Beltran resigned Thursday, joining A.J. Hinch and Alex Cora as managers to have lost their jobs in the wake of MLB's investigations into sign-stealing operations by the Houston Astros and Boston Red Sox. Beltran was the only player named specifically in MLB's report and was not given a punishment by the league, unlike Hinch and former Astros GM Jeff Linnell, who were each suspended without pay for 1 year. The Mets will now have to find a new manager. The club could consider internal candidates such as bench coach Hensley Mullins, a former Yankee, and quality control coach Luis Rojas, or look outside the organization even. Eduardo Perez, Dusty Baker, Buck Showalter, and John Gibbons are some potential considerations. More on this news in the C-List. I love Kyrie Irving, but man, oh man, sometimes he just sounds selfish. With Spencer Dinwiddie leading the way, the Brooklyn Nets scrapped and clawed their way to a 13-13 record while Irving was out dealing with his shoulder injury. Irving's back now. The Nets have gone 1-2 with him, and already he sounds like, well, Kyrie Irving. After Wednesday's loss to Philadelphia, where the Sixers, not Irving, took over the fourth quarter, he made critical comments about the organization putting additional players around him to help the team win. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, the Hawks reportedly told budding star Trae Young that they'd get him more help. It's coming from Minnesota. Jeff Teague returns to Atlanta, where he spent his first 7 NBA seasons and even became an all-star. He'll have a smaller role this time, backing up Young. The Hawks were desperate at point guard at the backup position, previously relying on Evan Turner playing out of position. Atlanta has been outscored by a whopping minus 14.1 points per 100 possessions without the injured Young. The 9-32 Hawks almost certainly won't win significantly this season anyway, but this could upgrade and, kind of help with the frustration that they have in Atlanta. Speaking of frustration, how about another page-turner courtesy of Antonio Brown? Brown has no team, and now he has no agent, per an NFLPA source. Agent Drew Rosenhaus has informed Brown in writing that the relationship between the two men has been terminated conditionally. The letter, per the source, explains that Rosenhaus will rescind the termination if Brown secures appropriate counseling within the next 5 days. The goal is to persuade Brown to get the help that he needs. If he doesn't, he'll have to find a new agent, and perhaps that agent will be able to help him through a stream of issues and challenges, culminating in the recent incident with the mother of one or more of his children and Hollywood, Florida police. Not pretty on social media this week. There must be something in the water that wide receivers drink, Rena. Cleveland Browns wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is potentially in legal trouble over an incident that took place in LSU's locker room after Monday night's national championship game. Video appears to show Beckham slap the butt of a police officer who was in LSU's locker room. NOLA.com reports that New Orleans police obtained an arrest warrant accusing Beckham of simple battery in connection with the incident. The report said authorities originally wanted Beckham charged with misdemeanor sexual battery, but a judge denied that request. Beckham, who played at LSU, was celebrating with the team on the field and in the locker room after they won the national championship. Yes, I was right about LSU on the C-List Monday morning. Beckham has already been under scrutiny over potentially breaking NCAA rules by handing out cash to players, but this legal scrutiny is potentially much more problematic for him. 42-25, the final in the national title game. By the way, a touch higher on the LSU side in terms of scoring than I expected. Joe Burrow looks really good. The Cincinnati Bengals about to get themselves a franchise quarterback. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Playing his first event since October, Brooks Koepka's rehabilitated left knee looked healthy as the world #1 shot 6 under 66 and is 2 shots off the 18-hole lead at Abu Dhabi Golf Club. In tennis, Andy Murray has delayed his comeback to the sport because of a slower than expected recovery from bone bruising that resulted from a career-saving hip surgery last year, the 3-time Grand Slam champion told the BBC. In racing, the all-female W Series will be part of the Formula One support program in its second season with new races at the U.S. and Mexican Grand Prix in October. Organizers announced on Thursday, and more breakthroughs for women in sports. That was the trend this week. A Sacramento State graduate was tapped to serve as an assistant coach for the San Francisco Giants, marking the first time that a female coach will be in Major League Baseball history on a full-time basis. The Giants announced in a news release Thursday that Alyssa Nakin is one of Two new hires as Major League assistant coaches were announced for the team for the 2020 season. Natkin was a four-time academic All-American softball player for Sac State, where she played first base for the Hornets from 2009 to 2012. She's played hundreds of games and has earned several accolades, including 2012 Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year and four-time Commissioner's Honor Roll winner. The Women's National Basketball Association, the WNBA, and its players union on Tuesday said they reached a tentative 8-year labor deal that for the first time will see the average annual compensation for players hit 6 figures. Big news there. From the pro hardwood to the college ranks we go. Clemson recovered in the final few minutes to knock off number 3 Duke 79-72 as fans stormed the court in Littlejohn Coliseum on Tuesday night in Clemson, South Carolina. Unreal finale there in college basketball. And how about some chess on a Friday morning? Norwegian chess grandmaster Magnus Carlsen has stretched his unbeaten run to a record-breaking 111 games. After securing a draw in a tournament on Tuesday, he's the best I've ever seen play chess. I would likely have him in the Bobby Fischer territory. GOAT. You can make a case that Antonio Gates is the GOAT of NFL tight ends. That chapter has been written already. Gates announced his retirement from football on Tuesday, ending his career with Hall of Fame caliber numbers. Enjoy the sunset, my man. But some legends just don't want to say goodbye. Former NFL Pro Bowl wide receiver Chad Johnson Ocho Cinco is hoping to get a kick out of the XFL's reboot this spring. Literally, he's trying out as a kicker. The XFL season begins right after the NFL season ends in early February. Heavyweights Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury have both promised knockouts to avoid going to the judges' scorecards when they meet again on February 22nd in Las Vegas, with Wilder's WBC title on the line. I like Fury, but Wilder is some puncher. Should be a great fight. Same deal this weekend in Las Vegas. We touched on it Monday. McGregor Cowboy this weekend in the UFC 246, Saturday night at T-Mobile Arena. On the ice, Washington posted a 5-2 win over New Jersey Thursday night, fueled by Alex Ovechkin's 25th career hat trick. The Devils skate in Columbus Saturday night. Rangers edged the Islanders 3-2 last night and will be home for Columbus Sunday, while the Isles host the Capitals tomorrow. Devin Booker and Phoenix whipped up on the Knicks last night, 121-98. The Orange and Blue will now host Philadelphia Saturday. The Nets are back in action Saturday, too. They host Milwaukee. And on a final sports roundup note, who's going to the Super Bowl? Tennessee, KC in the early game Sunday, Green Bay, San Fran, and the nightcap. The winners will meet in the Super Bowl. We hit the C-list for a look at baseball's very sad week. Sports has been and always will be about trying to gain a competitive edge. That line is often blurred by the temptation to cheat. I believe this trait starts in our youth when we play board games like Candyland. Losing sucks, man, and we do anything to make sure that it doesn't happen, right? But the thing about cheating is it ruins trust. Steroids made baseball like, a video game, but when the dust settled, it nearly destroyed the game itself. Baseball has been working hard to clean up its image ever since. The steroid cheats knew it. Just like the sign stealers in Houston knew. They knew what they were doing was wrong. They knew they were cheating, not much different from the PED users some 2 decades ago, shooting up in secret. They knew. It is a sad day. It has been a sad few days for the sport, and that even includes accusations that star Mike Trout is taking HGH in a separate story. But perhaps a necessary few days for baseball, lest further sign-stealing scandals erupt into a full-blown steroids-like melodrama that engulfs baseball for years to come. With the commissioner's office still investigating the 2018 Boston Red Sox for impermissible electronic sign stealing, with Cora as the manager, and like the 2017 Astros on their way to a World Series title, the Red Sox ownership had no choice but to let Cora go and begin the search for a new manager. That was the same storyline with Beltran on Thursday, 77 days after being named the new Mets manager, and on the same day as the team renamed a street for one of their legends, Mike Piazza. I think all of the people that might have been affected by this, big and small. Aaron Judge finished second to Jose Altuve in the 2017 MVP balloting, and we'll never know how the cheating affected that outcome. Judge cannot recoup that opportunity or the financial benefit that he might have gotten from winning an MVP in his rookie season. Among the notable victims of the Astros cheating scandal in 2017 were the New York Yankees, who lost to Houston in a thrilling American League Championship Series that year, won 7 games. New York went 0-4 at Minute Maid Park, where the Astros were found to have used a monitor displaying the center field camera feed throughout the 2017 season. CC Sabathia, a longtime Yankees pitcher who started Game 7 of that series, isn't taking what the Astros did lightly. He believes they should have that title vacated. So do I. Because even like this reporter or the legion of Yankee fans here in the Bronx, we missed out on another fall classic. We can't get that back, and all of the cheaters shouldn't be able to enjoy something that they didn't earn. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.